Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna talk about the similarity between the two rival distros, Linux Mint and MX Linux. And the reason for these for this video, it's to show, the video came about because I tested them on this hobby machine I have. This is not the actual machine that I have, but the picture of a machine the same age and year. This is a 2007 or 2008 Dell Latitude, and this machine have a dual core 2.5 gigahertz. So it had in its old days, it was a powerful machine. It's of course no turbo, no threads. So basically, that's what it have. So I did distro hop on this. Originally I installed NTX on it, but when I got the SSD on it and the RAM for it, I went and I put MX Linux, and it's remained with MX Linux for a long time, until somewhere last week, I believe, when I decided to install Linux Mint, because Linux, recently I had a good experience with Linux Mint, the Cinnamon edition, and I wanna talk about what amazing when after I installed Linux Mint. I actually installed Linux Mint on this machine first, the one we're filming on, and this is one of the reasons I liked about Linux Mint and MX Linux. They both share this feature, the menu. The menu is a very important aspect of many distributions, but I love about this menu is it will open up similar to a window manager within the menu. So you have the category internet, it will open up all the games, by the way, Linux Mint does not come with games, but when you install, all programs will open up with all programs. Linux, MX Linux is the same, except the categories are here, and you'll open up the category, and the category is here, and it will populate on the other side. So that's the only difference. This is, I think, an older picture, because also the bar is on top in Linux Mint recently. So, but nevertheless, the same thing I loved about that. Of course, I love that you can pin things to the bar, which is, for example, here we are pinning everything. I have two things that are pinned, and I can access them very fast without anything. So the third thing I like, is that they have a center with allow you to tweak, to generalize, to install extension. Both of them have a what's called similar to the old Windows. The Windows used to have something like that. I forgot what it used to be called, control center, something like that. I forgot what it used to be called, where a GNOME, for example, you're setting, here, for example, the dates, time, all in separate areas. In GNOME and modern distros, they have them all in settings, so they have less categories. So it will be the settings, it will be maybe the extensions in GNOME, for example. But in Linux Mint and MX Linux both have that. MX Linux, however, I will have to give them that, have the better. Maybe they don't look very sleek, have sharp edges in the window and all this, but they have the better system that way, but nevertheless, this is one thing they have in common beside the menu. I want to talk last or about the performance, and I'm just gonna bring the example of the Dell Latitude E6400. I ran both machines, and there was one issue I had with MX Linux on it. When it goes sleep, it was harder to get it awake, so yeah, I had to stop it from doing that. I don't know if I actually even tried it. It never went to sleep since I had Linux Mint on it. So that was one issue I had with this machine, with MX Linux. But we'll talk about but that was issue easily to resolve. I just disabled that feature, and I never had the problem. So when I can just lock the computer if let's say if I took it with me outside, But if it goes to sleep with MX Linux, a computer this old, and this is this computer specifically. The other issue I had with MX Linux for this computer is that if we look here, this computer have the pad, and it have those two lines. Those two lines are meant to scroll up and down the page or side to side. It worked perfectly out of the box on MX Linux. It did not work at all on Mint. So that's the other pros and cons. However, I'm going to talk about performance. Mint surprisingly was faster on it. It did use higher resources. You hear the fan was going often on it, but this have happened. So but it didn't really I was able to run YouTube on the highest setting, no drop frames, nothing, but the CPU went to 90 or 80, where it was a little bit lower in MX Linux. However, the MX Linux was slower, so take it as you may, slightly slower, negligible slower. So both of them were fine. They were this machine was able to run on them very fine. I know the XFC desktop environment is lighter, and that's what the expert been telling us. And my experience, it does seem to be lighter. I liked one other thing I liked, of course, about MX Linux is the conky. I like the conky. I know some people don't, but I can install the conky here, so it's not a big deal, but I like it. Give you so many different conkies, and I can go to the config file and even make more, change the colors and of them. So that was a cool thing. It have the tweaks where you can allow you to move the bar here, whatever you want. MX Linux give you more power to be, to control your desktop. And it ran very good. It seemed to be running very good on maybe it's more designed for older computer, that's why. However, Linux Mint, I will say, it get out of the way. That is the powerful thing it have. It have everything designed right, nothing flashy. The menu is right, the bar is right, and I love that the size of the icons are big, especially for older individuals. Stuff like that is very important for us all as we get older. Um, you have no idea how much I actually fond of both of those machines, and especially MX Linux, because it over the last few years it's not only saved my hobbies with older computers, but and allow older computers to run very good, but it actually saved many of my friends and even families of my friends computers, because uh, not everybody need the 16 core CPU computer with the latest things, because they are running, because they have the money basically for it, and maybe they are running high definition games. Many of us need a computer that do the work, basically do the work that maybe allow you to look for a job, go on the internet, communicate, email, even slight like what I do. I have a slight web development work I do, and I enjoy doing some on older computer. It's cool, and this Linux definitely help. For example, this machine that I'm filming on is maybe a 2012 or maybe 2015 computer, and it's a Core i3, so it doesn't have like the best, it have a kind of a tank of a CPU, but like also a very slow CPU, but it have like 4 threads, 2.2 maybe gigahertz. I don't know if it I think it might, it can boost, I think, a little bit, but like Linux Mint on this machine, work amazingly. It fitted like a tailored suit. It allowed this machine to run as good as a very good window machine, a modern window machine. This machine I have, it would work, and this is the cool thing about those distros. Of course, they say if you have something really old, MX Linux work better. In my opinion, I was surprised that you can also, if you want convenient, you can try, because it is more convenient, you can try Mint, because it works also on very old computers. I was surprised about that. But that is 2 cents for today, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.